Today on Studio G, we will be getting updates on the racing world with our own Bree Bradley on Motorsports Minutes.
And Donald Woods gives us an inside look at what women are doing participating in a male-dominated sport.
Carl Winder will also sit down with UNLV professor and nationally known journalist Alicia Shepard. All this and more happening in 30 seconds right here on Studio G. Good afternoon and welcome to Studio G. I'm Eddie Vargas.
And I'm Trinity Chavez. We start off the show today with an arrest yesterday. Quincy Taylor was arrested in connection with the fatal stabbing of a man earlier that day. Police have stated that Taylor was stabbed and inside the apartment near Spring Mountain. The victim was found dead in the apartment from apparent stab wounds. Taylor was booked and charged with 1 count of murder with a deadly weapon and 1 count of burglary.
Late Monday night, a mortar explosion during a training exercise killed 8 Marines in Hawthorne Army Depot in Nevada. An 8th floor arrangement was laid on Tuesday for the passing of the latest servicemen to die from the explosion. The cause of this accident is still under investigation, although it is thought that the deaths were caused by a 60mm mortar. 2nd Unit Marine Division General Jim Lukeman spoke out to the families about the incident.
The families of our Marines and sailors, that our hearts go out to you. We appreciate your sacrifice, and we'll do all we can to continue to support you.
Now moving on to a story a little closer to home. Reporter Donald Woods introduces us to a group of showgirls that are different from the well-known Las Vegas staple.
And there's always this stigma like, oh, women are playing football, football's a men's sport. It's unfortunate because if they came out, I think they'd see that, you know, it's just like any other sport.
Whether you know it or not, women play football in a league of their own. The Women's Football Alliance has 60 teams nationwide, and Las Vegas has a team of their own.
We're the Las Vegas Showgirls. We've been around 8 years. We've been a part of 3 different leagues. I've been coaching since day one. We're one of the top teams in the nation, and we represent Las Vegas.
The Showgirls have a reputation for victory, with winning over 75% of the 69 total games that they've played.
It's been amazing. I love the game. I've learned a ton over 8 seasons. When I started, all I knew was what I'd seen on TV. I can't watch football the same anymore.
I've always been a fan of football. I love just the camaraderie and the hitting, and I'm a very aggressive person, so I get to hit people for free, so it's the best thing for me.
We've been pretty safe. We definitely teach a lot of fundamentals. We keep it safe out on the football field. We do a lot of drills. We run, we lift weights. And we keep it safe for the girls.
Though football is typically a male sport, the Showgirls aren't finding it difficult in building a male fan base.
I think the perception is starting to get better. We've been informing a lot of people, beating the streets. My job, they love it. I got a whole team ready, to go out, and guys love girls that play football. It's the best thing in the freaking world.
I think it's a turn on, to have a woman that knows football and can explain football is exciting, and if she's beautiful, that's even better.
Coach Deion Lee and members of the team hope that women's football can engage more sports fans, as well as interest more women in playing football.
They're loving it. We are the heroes and sheroes of the world. Women are doing everything, and this is the last sport that women have to conquer, which is football. It's a gladiator sport, but we get it done.
For Studio G, I'm Donald Woods.
For more information on the Las Vegas Showgirls and their season schedule, visit lvshowgirls.com.
What do cars and dogs have in common? Well, they definitely can attract many people.
Gowden Ford is known for selling many cars, but that is not all they do. Every month they put a car show together to help raise money for various charities. This time it was these golden furry friends who benefited from all the fun.
We are always looking to do fundraisers with the community and finding ways that we can give back. We keep nothing here at the dealership. The idea is just to get people to come in, get them on our grounds, see the property, and also to see the dogs. So any money that we do receive today goes straight back to the Golden Retrievers.
Golden Retriever Rescue of Southern Nevada is a nonprofit organization dedicated to help abandoned, displaced, or unwanted Golden Retrievers in Las Vegas. Their goal is to share with others the joy these lovable dogs can bring.
Everybody's a volunteer in the group. Nobody gets paid, and they just do it for the love of the breed. We also work off of donations, and thank goodness for Gowden Ford stepping forward and helping us out today.
Gowden Ford provided food, raffles, and entertainment for families to come down and get to know the Golden Retrievers a little better during the car show. Most of the dogs that enter the rescue are adults. These dogs are housed in foster homes until families adopt and provide them with the love and the care they deserve.
Once you've had a Golden Retriever, you'll never adopt another breed. They're needy, they're lovable. You are never alone when you have a Golden Retriever with you.
Cars attack many people, but this time these Golden Retrievers definitely stole the show. For Studio G, I'm Maria Landero.
For more information on how to help rescue these amazing animals, visit www.grrsn.org. We now send it over to Brenda Gomez for what's happening in our entertainment news. Brenda?
Hello everyone, I'm Brenda Gomez and welcome to Did You Hear? We begin with an actress who just doesn't get it. It seems that Lindsay Lohan could take her own advice. A few weeks back, we talked about the 26-year-old taking a new path in order to better her life. The actress was going to be a mentor to high school students, encouraging them to stay out of trouble. Well, that did not work out. According to CNN, Lohan is going to rehab. She is to be in a locked-in facility for 90 days. After she pleaded no contest to 2 misdemeanor charges in result of a car accident that occurred last summer. To top that off, she has to undergo psychotherapy, complete community service, and her probation was extended for shoplifting by 2 years. It is not a surprise that she arrived 45 minutes late to her court appearance on Monday. The judge was not too happy about Lohan's behavior, and he made it clear.
This is it. You violate your probation, then we're not going to be having discussions about putting you back on probation on either of these cases.
Parents must be relieved that their children no longer have to be mentored by someone who is in and out of trouble. While some celebrities are publicizing their relationships, there are others that are making their breakups very clear. Actress/singer Selena Gomez announced her separation with singer Justin Bieber on Monday night on her appearance of the Late Night Show with David Letterman. The 20-year-old joked about making Bieber cry, stating, "Well then, that makes 2 of us," after Letterman said that Bieber's last appearance in the show, he made him cry. Gomez is single and is not dating anyone. She is currently promoting her new film, Spring Breakers. Madonna is causing some controversy after her appearance on the GLAAD Awards last Saturday. Not only did she dress like a Boy Scout, but criticized the organization. The singer wanted to bring attention to the Boy Scout ban on gay members and leaders. She quoted that their rules, quote, "are stupid rules." Madonna also made her point across against discrimination, bullying, and homophobia. She talked about society today and how it needs to change.
Team people, we live in America. Land of the free and home of the brave? That's a question, not a statement.
Actress Sofia Vergara is freezing her eggs. Although the Modern Family actress already has a 21-year-old son, she wants another baby in the future. Vergara is eating healthier and is taking hormone pills and injections in order to make the perfect egg. Maybe she has baby fever because of the recent baby she had in the show. Well, that's all the entertainment I have for you. After the break, Bree Bradley will have an update on Motorsports Minute. Stay tuned.
I'd like to thank the members of the UNLV community that have started something.
I became a big sister to make an impact in a child's life.
I became a big brother to get involved in my community.
4 hours a month, you can make a big difference in the life of a child.
I became a big sister because I wanted to start something.
Contact Big Brothers Big Sisters of Southern Nevada and start something today.
Hello, I'm Police Officer Paul Velez with the UNLV Police Department. What you just saw was an example of how quickly your property can be stolen here on campus. On campus, our #1 reported crime is unattended property theft. Here's some helpful tips. Always keep your property secure and on your person, and if you need to leave your property behind, ask somebody to help you and to watch your stuff while you're gone. And also, be aware of your surroundings and who's around you. And please help us keep the campus as safe as possible. Thank you.
Welcome back from the break. We now throw it over to Bree to find out what's revving up in Motorsports Minutes.
Good afternoon, fellow speed junkies, and welcome to this week's edition of Motorsports Minutes. I'm Bree Bradley. This week's segment will center entirely around the Great American Off-Road Race being held in Las Vegas this weekend, the Mint 400. The history of the Mint 400 is steeped in celebrity promotion, drama, and excitement as the city of Las Vegas itself. The Mint 400 has held the title of the toughest, most spectacular off-road race in North America since 1967 when it was first run. Initially, the race was a public relations event promoting the Mint Hotel's, believe it or not, annual deer hunt. But what started out as a hotel promotion soon grew into a legitimate desert race. Well-known names from all racing genres, as well as the television and motion picture industry, entered the race in hopes of experiencing the true challenge. These big names included Indianapolis 500 winners Parnelli Jones, Al Unser, Rick Mears, and Roger Ward, off-road champions Mickey Thompson, Ivan Stewart, Jack Flannery, Walker Evans, international off-road competitor Rod Hall, powerboat champion Bill Muncie, movie and television stars James Gardner and Steve McQueen, and many more. In 1972, K.J. Howe, the Mint Hotel executive and longtime Mint 400 race director, conceived the Girls of the Mint 400 to add glamour and PR value to the race. Each year, the Mint Racing Committee chooses a contingent of women to reign over the event's activities. Local media representatives help select the final 10 from hundreds of entries received from contestants from around the world, including the U.S., Canada, Mexico, and even Europe. This group of beautiful women includes Linda Carter, who portrayed Wonder Woman in the television series, and Wheel of Fortune's Vanna White. The Mint 400 race sadly ended in 1988 after the sale of the Mint Hotel. However, the story continued in 2008 when the Great American Off-Road Race was revived by a local off-road organization. Bigger, badder, and better than ever, the Mint 400 is everything that it is, was, and a whole lot more. Given the advances in off-road technology and the ever-changing landscape of Las Vegas, the Mint has grown tremendously, but all of the classic elements are still in place. Race fans can inspect an entire week of events leading up to the race, including a race vehicle parade down the Las Vegas Strip later today, starting at 3:30, so traffic may be a little congested during that time. A driver meet and greet, the KMC Wheels Pit Crew Challenge, and the Miss Mint 400 crowning tomorrow at Fremont Street Experience from 4 p.m. until 10 p.m. Technical inspection of the race vehicles and contingency will take place all day Friday on Fremont, and of course the 400-mile-long race on Saturday between Jean and Primm, Nevada. Well, that brings us to the checkers of this week's edition of Motorsports Minutes. Thanks for tuning in. Now let's send it to Steven for some Rebel Sports. Steven?
Well, thanks, Bree, and welcome to this pre-madness edition of Studio G Sports. Last night, the NCAA tournament officially begun with the first 2 games of the first 4 round. The first game featured North Carolina A&T and Liberty, 2 number 16 seeds. The winner gets the utmost challenging task against Louisville. Liberty made the tournament as a 20-loss team, and North Carolina A&T was looking for its first NCAA tourney win. The Aggies had to survive a last-second attempt by Liberty, though, and Jeremy Underwood, he tripled his average in the game as the Aggies get the close 73-72 win over the Flames. Other games saw St. Mary's defeating Middle Tennessee 67-54 in that battle of 11 seeds. There's 2 more games tonight as LIU Brooklyn battles James Madison and LaSalle takes on fellow Mountain West Conference foe Boise State. Then the main course begins on Thursday. Louisville, Indiana, Ohio State, and Florida are all his picks to reach the Final Four. That number's down to 2 number 1 seeds, a 2 seed, and a 3 seed. Last year, Obama picked 2 of the final 4 correctly. As for who he picks to win it all, he's got the Hoosiers out of Indiana as his pick to win it all. Well, the World Baseball Classic Championship featured Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic. These 2 teams had already met twice during the tournament, with the Dominican Republic winning both times. Puerto Rico looking to change that. The prohibitive favorites wasted no time as Reyes led off the first with a double, then later scored with Cano on a 2 RBI double by Edwin Encarnacion. That lead was padded in the 5th by Eric Ibar's RBI double, which made it 3-0. Pitching took over for the Dominicans as they did not lose a single game during the entire tournament, en route to hoisting the gold medal. Yankee second baseman Robinson Cano was named MVP of the tournament, hitting .469 with 4 doubles, 2 homers, 6 RBIs, and 25 total bases. Well, soccer superstar David Beckham has arrived in China for a few days. In his first visit to Beijing since the 2008 Summer Olympics, he visited with pupils and reporters in Xijia Hutong Elementary School. His 5-day visit to various cities across China promoting activities, that because he's an ambassador for the Chinese Super League and the youth football program. Well, that will do it for today's sports report. Tomorrow, tune in as Justin Fuller gets you set for all the madness as the round of 64 officially begins Thursday and work productivity as we know it for the next 2 days goes away. And he'll also have a preview of UNLV's matchup with Cal. Speaking of Justin, here he is with your weather. Justin?
Thank you, Steven. Let's get started with the update of the beautiful weather this week. As you can see outside, it's kind of cloudy, gloomy, 74 degrees. The winds are 16 miles per hour. The high is 74, the low 66. The high was the official high, or the record, was 90 degrees set back in 2004 when gas prices weren't really an issue. As you can see here, there's a lot of wind activity and rain above us and a little in Cali. 68 degrees in St. George, 71 degrees in Kingman, 60 degrees in Eureka. Around the nation, you see there's wind activities in the East Coast and in the bottom East Coast, as well as the West Coast, but in the middle, pretty dry. 62 degrees in Los Angeles, 77 in Phoenix, 82 degrees in Miami, and 45 in New York. So we look at our 7-day forecast, it's pretty much going to be in the 70s, except for the weekend is going to be low 60s. Pretty sunny throughout the whole week. When we come back from the break, Carl Winder will sit down with journalist Alicia Shepard. Stay put and we'll be right back.
Where is the moment we needed the most? You kick up the leaves and the magic is lost. Tell me your blue skies fade to gray. Tell me your passion's gone away, and I don't need no carrying on. You stand in the line just to hit a new low. You're faking a smile with the coffee to go. And tell me your life's been way offline. Time, and I don't need no carrying on, 'cause you had a bad day.
Welcome back from the break. I am joined by Alicia Shepard. Professor Shepard, thank you for joining us.
Happy to be here.
Yes, and right now it's just a tragedy up in Hawthorne, Nevada at this moment in time. At least 7 Marines died from a 60mm mortar.
Yeah.
Right now. Sorry.
I was going to say, we're used to hearing about IEDs blowing up in Afghanistan, but not in the U.S., so that was really shocking. And also the number that died was really shocking.
And just right now, the government has put a blanket suspension on all the weapons. Do you think that was a smart move on their part?
Absolutely. Until they find out what caused the crash, they obviously don't want something like that to happen again.
Yes, I gotcha. And aside from that, I mean, it was a tragedy, but right now, Hawthorne, Nevada, not a very big town. And now I can imagine the APs there, New York Times, all the local media right now. It's just how
rushing in.
Yeah, just how does that affect a community with all these media outlets coming in?
Well, it can be overwhelming, especially, we talked about Newtown, Connecticut, where 21 school-age children were murdered, and there was a dissension of the media. And I think the townspeople get it at first. It sort of depends on how long they stay. I think they can feel very violated by the journalists, as we call it, parachuting in, tell me everything, who do I go to, what do I talk to, do you know anybody, and then saying, see ya. And I think oftentimes, unfortunately, because of deadlines and the way the media works under a lot of pressure, that the townspeople often feel used.
Now,
used.
Yeah, and just based on your experience, just in media in general, how long do you think is too long to stay in one place to cover a story?
That really depends on the monumentalness of the story. I know that I wrote a chapter in a book about the coverage of Columbine TV coverage, and I think that the cameras, the big media, I remember they were there, the Today Show, Katie Couric, and the thing that's really disturbing about that is then Katie Couric became the story, having a famous journalist there. But I know that people felt that they stayed too long, and it was about almost 2 weeks before people really thinned out and left. So there is no set formula. I also covered the shootings at Virginia Tech, and boy, was that a circus. I mean, but I think everybody understood, and there got to be a point where there were really no stories left. And I was doing this for the New York Times, and I just felt like, we've tapped out and overstayed.
Yeah, as I heard back in Newtown, there was an internet cafe over there, and they allowed the media in, but after about 10 days, they just got tired of them because they were acting rude and such.
Yeah, well, I apologize on behalf of my brethren journalists who are under a lot of pressure, and there are deadlines. You all know that as well, and sometimes you can be abrasive, and you shouldn't.
Yes.
I mean, people are very generous to give up their time, and the local townspeople, as you mentioned, the internet cafe, they were obviously very kind to let the journalists use it. I'm sure they were desperate for high-speed internet.
Yeah, very much so. And talking about the media controversy, you were involved in a controversy yourself while you were working for NPR. Can you go into detail a little bit about those?
Well, I was involved in many controversies. I was there almost 4 years. I think the one you're asking me about is whether or not the journalists should use the word torture. And this was around the time that the military was torturing. And I say that because torture is a very loaded word. It's also against the Geneva Convention for the U.S. to torture. And so the Bush administration's position was that we are doing this for national security. And so they had a justification, and that was their side. Obviously the left, the progressives, felt that call torture what it is. And I came down in the middle and just said, let's not even use the word torture. Just, if you're going to talk about waterboarding, describe what waterboarding is. And
Yes.
if you're talking about forcing water in my mouth and I can't breathe and I feel like I'm drowning, I get it.
Anyway, Professor Shepard, thank you very much for joining us
Okay,
today.
great.
And now we send it back to Des for more news.
There's a lot of talk show on campus that gives students this opportunity to speak up and be heard. Reporter Alexis Merce has more.
Broadcast journalism major Jordan Lorenzo, also known as Jay the Boss, is the host of her very own show, Tall Table Discussions, Boss Talk. TV personality Jay the Boss touches on subjects that interest today's youth, such as relationships, music, and student life.
So I started it as a radio show, and I've always wanted to branch it out for Boss Talk TV. I really wanted our voices to be heard. I wanted a student show, and I wanted to get more experience for myself as far as being a broadcaster and as far as being in front of the camera. And I know I have a lot of opinionated and fun friends who would really bring a lot to the table that a lot of the shows on campus don't have.
Each episode features a different topic and 4 student panelists who talk it out and debate.
It depends. If two people break up, maybe they just need time to grow, you know? Not saying that's always the case. Because I'm pretty sure you break up for a reason. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing really wrong. Every situation has its, you know, its own individual. There's no set standard saying, no, you shouldn't get back with an ex. You know, every two people are different.
Jay has received nothing but support from her family and friends. They enjoy being a part of the show and love voicing their opinions.
I'm a part of Boss Talk, basically to support Jay with her ideas, you know, get it out there so everyone can see. And then I also get to, you know, give my opinions and my views on certain situations. And I also learn information from, you know, the other people on the show.
I really think the biggest part that played into me being a part of it is just supporting a friend, supporting somebody that's important to me.
It's college views from college students about subjects we don't get on networks that we see on TV, like reality TV. We don't get those kind of interpretations of the struggle and what we're really thinking and what we're learning in the whole college system. So it's important for us to connect.
Jay has high hopes for her show. She hopes to see it progress in the future.
And my goal for the show was pretty much to continue to get views, to continue to have the support of Vegas and as far as UNLV, and try to pitch it to UNLV-TV to actually get it in our big studio.
If you're interested in checking out Tall Table Discussions, go on youtube.com/Boss Talk Radio. From Studio G, I'm Alexis Mers.
If you have any topics you would like Jay to hear about, contact her via Twitter at jaytheboss.com.
Moving on to entrepreneurship, I spoke to UNLV students about how they're getting a head start in the business market. Balancing work and school can be hard enough, but UNLV student and entrepreneur Curtis Lee says that through hard work and determination, he is trying to accomplish his dreams of owning his own clothing company.
Like I said, we just try to stay busy. I look at it as working for myself, so we try not to waste no time.
Basically, I just try to eliminate free time. Like, I try not to go to the gym as much and hang out with friends. But I mean, it's hard. It's hard to juggle, you know, starting your own business and being a full-time student.
The brand's logo is the number 23 that morphs into the face of a bull. It is an image designed by none other than Curtis himself. He says that the inspiration came to him on his 23rd birthday, and it just so happened that 23 was also the number of his favorite player, Michael Jordan, who at the time played for his favorite NBA team, the Chicago Bulls.
So we have a lot of t-shirts and snapbacks, and we have winter wear, crew necks, all kind of things.
Though Curtis is still in the early stages of building his brand, he tries to utilize every opportunity to market his designs.
Well, there's a lot of resources on campus, a lot of professors that can help me out, there's a lot of students, so a lot of customers.
We have Facebook page, we have Instagram, we have Twitter page, so we get out there.
Website, www.reliantcurtislee.com. Just pretty much word of mouth around campus.
Ron adds that the brand is style that comes at an affordable price.
Because everything else is expensive, and this is affordable for college students to wear around campus.
Curtis says the concept behind the brand is to inspire people to accomplish their dreams, because it is those dreams that people rely on.
If you check us out, like I say, we inspiring people to do what they want to do, as far as like relying on every dream, which we have, which is the concept of going based behind the clothing line. And just to support like local, like I say, students, locals, and like here in Las Vegas, we'll have a lot more products coming.
You can check out more about Rely On Clothing at www.relyoncurtislee.com. So what do you think about starting your own business being only a college student?
I think it's a great idea. I mean, you never know. You could end up like Russell Simmons.
Yeah, no, you definitely have a lot of opportunities here on campus. Well, that's all we have for you today. I'm Trinity Chavez.
And I'm Eddie Vargas. Be sure to send us any story ideas to our Facebook or Twitter page. Thanks for watching, and keep it classy, Las Vegas. Have a great day.